I bought this 700 wheel horsepower Evo recently, but in the last 6 years of previous owners, it's only driven about 10,000 miles, which means this car has mostly been sitting in storage. Before we do anything with this car, I think it needs a good cleaning. This is my newly purchased 2008 Evo 10. It makes 700 horsepower, but it's been somewhat neglected for about 6 years. It's been sitting in storage and not driven a ton, and as a result, it is cosmetically worn out. So we're here at Automotive Aesthetic today to get this car detailed before I even put a wrench onto this car because, well, it needs the help. So from a distance, the car actually looks pretty good, but as we get closer and really kind of look at some stuff, it's a little crustier on the strut towers. There's some leaves back here. Engine bay all in all isn't that bad. The motor build was done somewhat recently, so it's probably not super dirty. The wheels, however, the wheels have taken a hit. They've got some corroding around the barrels. I'm not sure what causes that. I don't know if it's like rainwater sitting in there, but it doesn't come off at the touch. The shine does, obviously. Now I got brake dust on my hand, but it'll shine up, but you'll notice there's like pitting in there. And I don't know if that's gonna come out. It wasn't there 6 years ago, that's for sure. Obviously, other than the car being like just a little surface dirt, all that should come out. The wing, I don't think the wing is savable. The interior is kind of disgusting. Like, this floor mat hasn't been cleaned, maybe ever. Yeah, just a little dirty, crusty under the seat here. The dash is super dusty. And there's also stuff in the car. I mean, there's just like, literally this all came with the car when I got it. So yeah, I think we need to take care of all of this.
Yeah, let's see what else we got in here. Those were towels at one point, so it looks like he may have kept the paint nice and clean. Let's see.
Oh, you need all this.
Let's see. This is an important one. Let's see if it is all in here. Got your accessories, which feels like it's empty. You've got your access port and your OBD2 port.
E85, $16. Price was at $1.89.
It was meant to be. We're probably just gonna go ahead and start vacuuming and blowing it out with compressed air. We actually kind of like doing the exterior first because you can clean the door jambs without having to like ruin the interior job that you just did. But we're gonna do the interior first since it's so bad. The carpet needs like a really thorough blowout and vacuum, and that'll ultimately get a ton of dust on the car, which is not the end of the world, but we'd rather get the interior clean first.
Cleaning the interior first is a little out of process, but the interior was in pretty rough shape and we were eager to see how much of it would clean up. We found evidence in this interior that would show that it was probably never properly cleaned since Brandon owned it, maybe even before Brandon. Thankfully, nothing really looks damaged, and it's all cleaning up for the most part.
One thing that I've noticed in the door handles is that the chrome material that they use is just starting to delaminate on the door handles. It may look like dirt, a little dirt nib, but it's just the chrome.
The interior is really actually not that bad. It's the definition of surface dirt. If you don't believe me that this interior never seemed to get a proper clean though, maybe finding a receipt from 2010 will convince you.
Just found a receipt from Koto Japanese Steakhouse in Lynchburg, Virginia from July 16th, 2010.
The headliner's kind of dirty, so I'm just gonna go cleaning it and use this disinfectant spray to kind of counters the smell of it. It kills, mold and mildew. This is just prevention, if it's caught out hot day, you're not gonna be smelling anything nasty.
So the trunk jam is like really gross, and we would normally clean it when we're washing the outside, but it's like really bad. It's got a bunch of like leaves in it, and the leaves aren't a big deal. Those kind of blow away. But like, if you look down here, there is like a literal like layer of dirt caked in here, and I like would just rather take time and really brush it out and steam it properly instead of like soaking it with the pressure washer. And also considering some stuff has been painted here and there, there's also like clear coat failing on the trunk. I don't want to risk like blowing any more clear coat off if we use a pressure washer in like these little small intricate areas. So I'm just going to vacuum it, blow it out with some compressed air, spray some cleaner in there and agitate it a little bit, and then we'll just use the steamer to get the rest of the little tiny areas, and we can just, you know, clean it out thoroughly.
This kind of stuff has got to be the most satisfying. Dirt caked in there from 2010, all getting blown out and cleaned out, and it looks absolutely brand new underneath. Interior might be one of the easiest parts of detailing a car, but it's probably the most satisfying as well. With the interior all finished up, it's time to bring the car outside to clean the exterior.
Interior's done, let's wash it. I think like the quality of the paint is actually pretty good. Like it's the original paint at least. We got a little bit of work to do on the engine bay, and then we're gonna attempt to do something with the wheels. The wheels are pretty shot, to be honest. Some people might think like, what's the point of cleaning my wheels if they're just gonna get dirty again after you drive it? And this is kind of like a great example of that. Basically, the point of cleaning of your wheels is just to care for them over time, so they don't do this, so they don't oxidize, they don't pit, and they don't start to collect brake dust that is not easily removed, or is honestly just permanently like etched into the wheel itself.
You can tell how this is the normal finish and this is the finish that's failing. And if you look closely, you can see that it's scratched up pretty bad. I'm pretty sure someone was too abrasive with the material and just scratched the original finish off. So this wheel's pretty much too far gone.
It's definitely beyond the surface materials. For just some heavy wheel cleaner and some brushing and some scrubbing, they actually look much better.
Official diagnosis is that these wheels cannot be saved by cleaning alone. They would need to be sanded down and refinished. But we'll do what we can today to make them look a lot better. I kind of wanted an excuse to find new wheels that fit my style a little better anyway. Now we move on to the engine bay, which isn't particularly dirty, more like dusty. And that's usually a good sign. It means the engine hasn't really needed to be messed with.
The engine bay is all cleaned up and we're gonna start the wash process.
There is a lot of fungus. These little black dots, those are called artillery fungus. You know, so if you park next to a tree for a long period of time, you're most likely gonna find at least a couple of these things on your paint, and they're actually relatively easy to pick off, but sometimes they leave a little bit of like a residue behind. So after we do like an initial clay bar to kind of knock the head off of these things, I'll come back with a tar remover and kind of just get rid of the last little bit of residue that's left, that's stuck to the paint.
The condition of the paint actually looks pretty good, and most of those little fungus dots came right off. Normally, we do a paint correction after the wash to remove some of the small swirl marks from the paint and make it shine better. But since this paint looks fine, we're just going to do a correction on some of the carbon fiber pieces, since those seem to take the hit of age a little bit worse.
So the car is washed, we brought it back inside, decontaminated it and whatnot. What I'm attempting to do is polish out the imperfections in the carbon fiber. It's got some slight oxidation going on with it, some light scratches going on the edges from people's feet hitting it, from the cars being out in the sun, but not going for perfection, just giving it a nice gloss enhancement. As you can tell, the carbon, like the diffuser, is so close to the exhaust. Over time, it's just heating up this area. Probably, I think, not destroying the clear because it's still there until we polish it. So I'm just going to do a test spot to see if it cleans up. You can tell the difference. It's that's all carbon buildup and nastiness over time.
I'm pretty sure that carbon buildup is there because this car does shoot flames, but that's a video for a different time. Polishing this carbon fiber has got to be one of the most satisfying things that I've seen in a long time.
I'm about to polish the headlights. Usually we would wet sand them. There's a couple of defects going on behind the lens that you just can't get out without replacing the lens. So I'm just gonna polish it without wet sanding, see what kind of result I can get.
It looks like the headlights are another item that I'm gonna have to replace. These polished up nicely, but there's still some cracking in the plastic underneath that can't be fixed. It might be time for something more modern anyway. Automotive Aesthetic has done it yet again. I'm amazed at how much this car has cleaned up. And now, with all the dirt removed, I can really see which items I think I should replace and which items I'm gonna keep.
Just finishing up with the tires now. We're about to pull it out, double check everything, and see how it looks.
All right, well, I mean, obviously, as you've seen, this thing is already, like, so much cleaner. The beginning here, I was showing you these strut towers. Look how much cleaner, like, this just whole general area is. Even this, like, carbon box. Even this thing, which, this thing has got some heat fading to it. So, like, I probably need to replace this piece anyway. But it is shining now. Actually, kind of looks almost new. Absolutely incredible. The headlights, you can actually see the projectors through them now, and that's not even the craziest transformation. In the interior, it's so clean. I mean, there's no dirt. I can't believe it. It was a black interior all along. Did you guys know that? Did you see that underneath all this stuff? Well, let's be real. There's no junk in the car anymore. That makes a big difference. But like, just the amount of dirt that was caked in here, in the floors and the seats, and now it's not. This is the stuff that's kind of hard to convey in a video, but the steering wheel has got like kind of a matte finish to it, and it used to be like glossy because of the oils and junk from your hands, and now it's actually kind of got like a matte finish, and it's soft to the touch. Incredible. The wheels, unfortunately, they're not savable. They still have pitting. They obviously look way better than they did before, but the I guess the pitting is gone, but now it's just the finish is kind of coming off. We could probably spend some more time on it and get it better, but I think we might just have to change it up with some different wheels. Super happy about this exhaust work here. The carbon, like diffuser, not having that black tarring that was on top of here before. Look, you can see my reflection in the car too. We didn't even polish the paint. Incredible. Looks amazing. The trunk, which, you know, didn't look bad before. I don't even think I got some before shots of it, but I mean, look, my reflection is very apparent. yeah, it's crazy. The wing, you know, not savable. We knew that. We didn't even really put much effort into it. But yeah, I mean, even the carbon down here looks new. I was debating getting a new side skirt here, or at least just the carbon bottom part, but I think we're good with this. The trunk doesn't have any lining, so I need to find maybe some trunk lining, but look at that. Do you remember, I mean, insert before shots right here, and then here's the after. Like, insert before shot and after. Absolutely crazy. It still looks brand new underneath this. This is a 2008. You would not guess it. So now that it's clean, we know what's saved and what's not saved. I think the headlights, not really saved. I mean, they're okay, but I think we need some new headlights. Definitely need some new wheels. We need a new wing. Yeah, let's see where this journey takes us on the next episode.